mind. He was like, test her for everything. And then he was like, give her a pregnancy test. I'm like, I'm not pregnant. Doctor said, well, tested good for negative for everything else, but you're pregnant. So this is the second video. This is part 2 of the last story time, how I found out I was pregnant at 16. This is part 2. I got the same, like, you know, hair and clothes on that I did in the last video because I literally recorded it right after. So how I told his dad I was pregnant. Mind you, okay, let's just get right into it because we're not wasting time. The last time, which if you didn't watch that, go watch that before you watch this, because like you need to be up to speed on the things that's going on. Mind you, everybody knows in my family basically. They just waiting on me to tell his dad. I didn't want to do that because my, like, he don't hold water either. Like my dad, which is crazy. They got the same birthday. So no wonder why. So I was trying to tell him for the longest. I'd be like, hey, I got to tell you something. And he'd be like, what? I play too much. So I'll be like, chicken butt.
No chore, you're a clown.
It just was never, I can never bring myself to really say like, I'm pregnant. So one day my dad was like, you telling him. If you don't tell him, I'm telling his parents. So I'm like, all right, Dad. Knowing him, he was going to do it because he don't hold water anyway. So I'm like, okay, I'll tell him today. That didn't go well. It didn't go well because like we went to the same school, like high school. And when I tried to tell him in school, people was walking by. Then it was like time to go to class. It was like never a good time. I was looking for the perfect time to just tell him. But every time it was like we was never alone. And I didn't want people at school finding out because it was none of their business. And like I went to a small school, so everybody was going to know my business. School day go by. He asked me, because he got his lawyer. Yes, we have a kid together. So this day in particular, he asked me to go with him to go get some of his, you know, his clothing so he can press on it. At the time, he had Rain and Bucket. But, yeah, so he like, hey, can you go with me? I'm like, sure. In my mind, I'm like, this is perfect because I can tell you when we go. That did not work out well. So it didn't work out well because while we on the bus, mind you, this is before he was driving, okay? This is way before he had a car, had a license or anything. We had to go to his house first, right? So the whole time we're on the way to his house, we are not like alone. There's people from our school, people we know. Like I just wanted it to be one-on-one. So then we go to his house and he had his nephew come with us. And I'm like, okay. So I can't tell you in front of your nephew because like he's going to know. And then he's going to tell everybody because he's a kid. So I can't be mad at that. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to just wait. We go to the place, we come back. He was like, what you want to eat? I'm like, oh no, I'm really ready to go home. Because I don't really feel too good. Like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. I just don't feel good. And he like, all right, I'm gonna get my nephew. He gonna walk with us. I'm like, no, like, let's just walk together by ourselves. Like, let's just walk together. I'm like, he like, why? Like, come on, we just gonna be right back. He gonna walk with us. I'm like, no. He like, why? I said, because I gotta tell you something. He was like, what? What you gotta tell me? Mind you, his whole family live on his block. He came close. He was like, I said, same time I said yes. His dad coming down the block. His mom coming out the house. His sister coming out of her house. My stomach was in my shoes. I was so scared. He went to go tell his dad instantly. Then his mom walked up to the car. And they all his sister called me in the house. She was like, what's going on? I tell her because I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm not going to say nothing because then he going to come in the house and be like, she pregnant. So I'm like, I'm pregnant. She's like, what? You serious? I can't stop smiling, but she was serious. I was scared. I'm like, I just want to go home. His mom came in the house. She was like, I'm like, I really just want to go home. She's like, we got to have a conversation. We're going to send you an Uber home after we talk. So I'm like, I should have just left. I was trying my hardest to just leave. Like, I did not want to stay because I was up there by myself and everybody just wanted to talk to me. I just wanted to be, like, home. To be honest, I wanted my grandma. Like, I'm like, I just need to go back to my grandma's house. Like, we had a conversation, which I can't really remember too much of. his mom was just telling me, like, you know, what do you plan on doing? Like, what's going on? I told her what I told my dad and my mom. I'm keeping the baby. He's like, okay. I went home, and then from there, I literally hid my pregnancy for months. Mind you, that was October. I got pregnant August, found out September, told basically my family in the span of September and October. But I always been so small and petite. So like I was able to just, whenever like that little pudge, in the beginning of the pregnancy, like you get a little pudge sometimes, I would just suck my stomach in, literally. And I started wearing like oversized clothes. That type of style was coming in. So I'm like, perfect. And it was the winter time, so I was wearing a coat anyway. Fast forward a couple months, I'm like 6 months pregnant. It's like February. When the people in school didn't find out until this one newsy girl gonna point it out and going, her messy self gonna tell everybody, y'all seen her stomach? She pregnant. And I didn't find that out until after I had my son. And that, like, being pregnant in school is like a different level. People make you feel bad about yourself and your decision to keep your child. And then I went to school with a lot of females that was pregnant. But because of my situation, which I wasn't going to explain to nobody, because I felt like I didn't have to explain myself. I'm like, I'm keeping my child. And a lot of them girls, they didn't. And they laughed at me for keeping my child, which was stupid to me, because it's like, you was just in my shoes. Like, towards the end of my pregnancy, I went to school the whole time, basically, from September to April. And then after I had him was the summertime. You know, I was able to spend a couple months with my baby at home. And then after that, I went back to school. I graduated with him on my hip. Oh, yes, I did. And I lost so many friends, lost so many family members, you know, and everything happens for a reason. I thank God that those people aren't in my life, because in my most vulnerable time, where I needed the most support from the people that I loved, or, you know, that I was around, and they left, it wasn't me. And one thing about it, I'm gonna always protect my little baby. Like, I love him so much. That's just that. I had people tell me to get an abortion. Had people tell me that's the worst mistake of my life. I had people tell me that I ruined my life, not knowing what I just previously went through. Me, in my mind, I decided to keep Amari because of the simple fact that he could be, and still to this day, could be the only child I will ever have. And I mean, as a 16-year-old, to make that decision for your life and have to literally fight against everybody telling you to get rid of your child, even though that might be the only child you might have, like, I really had to stand on 10. The story time y'all got not even a half of what I really went through. And I'm doing that purposefully, because I'm not going to talk down on people. But regardless, I got my little mini-me. That kind of rhymed. See, I really be rapping on here for real. Y'all need to sign me now. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, become a subby, join the family, because guess what? You're always welcome at Monty's Place. And Monty, me, I'm gonna let you stay, because you're always welcome. All right, y'all, I gotta go tend to my baby. I love you guys, and see you next time. Bye.
You, cause I only want you, yeah. Cause I only want you, yeah. Cause I only want you, baby, yeah, I only want you.